Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein, and I will be your presenter today. Today, we are talking about some different reports that you may need to run in membership for the end of the year. So I've been getting lots of calls on support this January on demographics or different information that needs to be pulled out of church windows for reporting purposes. So some of the common questions I have had are in regards to age ranges. So how many members do we have in a particular range? How many members do we have in a particular school grade? Gender's a popular one. So I'm going to go through those three as examples today, but with that, it's going to also give you an overview of how to use membership reports to pull out the different pieces of information that you may need to report on for your church denomination. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up membership here, and there's two different ways to get to reports. You can get to reports right here in the middle of the screen by clicking the reports button. But if you already have people open and you're just looking at your first record here, you can definitely go up to the top and click on Reports and Export, Reports and Labels, and then Reports Directory Export. That's going to get you to exactly the same place, which is a different way to get there. So step one is all about who we want to see on the report. Okay, step one has nothing to do with the layout of the report, let's say. Okay, so step one is strictly the criteria of who we need to see on the report itself. Step two, so after we hit next and get to step two, that's where we're going to go in and be able to say, okay, I need to see this person's name, age, and birthday. Okay. So again, step one, that's just the criteria, who we need. Let's do our first example of age. So number one, this is where we are going to edit the people criteria. So this is where that membership criteria can come into play. Step three, this is where you would go in and you would put any giving criteria in. So say you want people who pledged, or say you want people who gave to a particular account or over a certain amount. That could all be done here in step three if you're using the donations module. If you're strictly just worried about membership reporting, like school grade, age, or gender, you're not even going to worry about step three. We're just going to stay right up here in step one. Okay? So I'm going to hit Edit People Selection Criteria, and it's going to open up a new window for me. Again, if we're only worried about membership information, nothing about giver numbers, or you don't use giver numbers, ignore this section, skip right over it. Categories box right here. This is important though. So if you're supposed to only be reporting on your members, make sure you come in here and you uncheck visitors or any other fields you have that isn't a member field. Okay. Down here at the bottom, inactive, unless you're running a report on everybody who passed away in 2024, for example, we are not going to have any of these boxes checked, right? So leave all of those empty. Back over here to the top left where it says select a membership field. These are all of the different fields you have available to you to build a query and get the proper people that you need on the report itself. So we're going to start with age. You can scroll through the list, a bunch of address fields, or you can simply click in here. Oops, that's not what we wanted. You can click in here and you can just type in the name of the field that you're specifically looking for, right? So we're going to choose age. As soon as you select age, you have different options for how you want to build the query about age. Between is a pretty commonly used one. This would be if you were doing a range. Say we were going like 18 to 35. You could do between. You could do is greater than or is less than. So if you want everybody 17 and under, you would do less than 18. So it would be everything below 18. So that would be your 0 to 17 range. You could do an is equal to, or you could do an is blank if you want people who don't have a birthday filled in so their age can't get calculated. But it's a pretty logical, computer-minded query here, if you will. Basically looking at the data itself. So specifically, if I need to see people ages 17 to 35 on my report, I'm going to choose between, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to do 18. 18 to 35. So they must have a birth date in the system that is filled out completely. So month, day, day, and then 4 for year, 4 spaces for year. It will be able to calculate out someone's age for me appropriately. Okay? So age is between 18 and 35, and I've unchecked my visitors. I'm going to say okay. My query is going to be up here at the top. I can now go to the Sort tab, and I can set the sort order that I want these people who meet my query to be printed out in. So right now it's going strictly alphabetical. If you wanted it in age order, you could definitely hit the down arrow here and choose age. Okay, I'm going to go back to name though. And then from here, I'm going to click next. Now, most of the people that I've been talking to, they don't need the actual report. They just need the number itself to fill out for the different forms they have to fill in. So for this example, top left, choose basic, and then you're going to choose the template basic columnar report. Everyone has this report on their step 2 here under basic. This report, if we click print, is going to give you very basic information, their name, their address, and their primary phone number. Okay. At the bottom of every report, it's going to give you a count. So here's your 8. So this is how many people you have with an age between 18 and 35. If you have a really, really long report that you generate and you don't want to scroll all the way to the end of the report, up at the top, you can hit the blue letter I. That's your information button. And that's going to give you an easy place or a quick way to find your count and your criteria. Now, benefit to printing out this report is that you will have this at the bottom. So it's going to reiterate to you what query is what. Okay. But if you just need the count, you can find it right here. Also, if your list isn't very long, you don't even have to print it. You can just count right on this screen. Okay, so that's your first query, age, and again, you can do is greater than, is less than, is between, whatever query you need. Now, if you have several different ranges that you need to generate for, then you're going to have to rerun that report per each range, putting in the criteria that you need on step 1. Okay, so say you want to do everybody 17 and under for your next criteria, close out, come back in, edit people selection, go to age, we're going to say less than, we're going to do 18 for this one, add that, and then this is going to give me, uncheck visitors, say okay, next. This report is going to give me everyone 0 to 17, okay? Pretty easy. All right, so that's the next report option. Now let's move on and do school grade. So back into reports, back into edit people selection criteria. Over here to the right, I'm going to uncheck visitors. And now we're going to use school grade as our criteria. So select a membership field, school grade. School grade is set up as a list field. So it's not going to be like the range or age field where we could do numbers from whatever range we needed. This is specifically checking the fields that you want to see on your report. So for school grade, I'll come in and I'm going to do just elementary school kids first. Here in Ohio, that's kindergarten through 5th for public schools, so I'm going to check all of those. Add to selection. Visitors are unchecked. I'm going to say OK. Hit next. So now for them to be on this report, they need to be in kindergarten through 5th grade. Here's a listing of those people. I'm going to choose basic, template basic columnar report. I'm going to then click print. And now at the bottom of this report, it's going to give me my count of 11, and it's going to reiterate my criteria that I checked, so I know I have the correct criteria. Another benefit of printing this report out is if you file it away, save it, Next year, you can refer to this criteria at the bottom and make sure you have the information you need to generate that same report in the future. Okay, so that's school grade. Pretty straightforward there for the criteria as well. Another popular call I'm getting is gender demographics. So back into reports, edit people selection criteria, select a membership field, and go down to gender. Check the one you need. We'll go with female for this report. This is also set up like a list field. Add to selection. Gender equals female. Off to the right. Again, I'm going to uncheck visitors. Say OK. Hit next. We're going to continue with that basic report using the template basic columnar report. Don't need to change anything here. Hit print. Same thing. It's going to give me all the ladies. And if I scroll down, I can see here's my count of 38. And then there's my criteria that I used to generate this report. And then same thing, run it again for males. File it away however you need to with those numbers. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward for how you need to generate the numbers. If you have specific reports you want to print, so say you're printing the age range report and you actually want to see people's ages on the report itself, you can definitely do that with a basic report layout. So let's go back. Edit selection. We're going to do age again here. We'll do between, we'll do, what do we do? 18 to 35, I think. Add the query. Uncheck visitors. Let's say we want to sort this one by age. So we're going to swap out sort field 1, push it to age. Click next. And again, you can use this basic columnar report like we used in our first example if you just need the number. You just need to know the count. But let's say you actually want to see what these people's ages are. You can make an age report. So I'm going to hit New. Report name. I'm going to call it Name and Age Report. And once you set this up, you can reuse it whenever you need to see the name or age of people that you pick back on the previous screen. So right now on the right under visible columns, I have name, address, and primary phone, just like my basic template report. But I don't need to see address. Select it, move it off of the report. Select it, move it off of the report. And I'm going to come over here under other, expand this section, find my age field, push it to the right, adding it to my report. And I'm going to have age first. So I'm going to highlight it. Up arrow. So now age is column 1, name is column 2. I want age first because I'm printing in age order. So I'm going to say OK and print. Then this is going to give me in age order all of my people. So maybe you want to print this report out because it's giving you a little bit more information about the people that are meeting the query. Up to you.